But a lot of people see things that are so obvious to them and it's not obvious to anyone else. And then they beat themselves up because the other people that don't see it really end up like, it causes problems. It causes frustration. Oh, that person's a troublemaker. Why can't they just get along? And I see that, a lot of times that went on. I'm a big advocate of selling from your stage. And what I mean by that is, your stage could be like this. Your stage could be a couple people in front of you, but selling one to many. And so giving information in a big group instead of going out there, because a lot of times when I sold books door to door also for 2 summer seasons with the Southwestern Book Publishing Company, oldest company based out of Nashville, Tennessee in the book publishing business. And that was tough, and I'm glad I went through that training because the one thing that they told you to do was give 30 presentations a day. And that formula worked for what they were doing. In your industry and what you're doing, you've got to figure out what works for you. So one of the best ways to do that is to look back at past performance and say, all right, I made 3 phone calls this day and I got 1 sale. I made 20 phone calls this day and I got 1 sale. I made, 10 phone calls this day and I got 1 sale. And then you add all those up and average them out. And then it would determine that you've got to, no matter what, you got to make 12 phone calls, 12 visits, 12 interactions a day in order to get a sale. So there are 2 types of people in the world. There are hunters and there are farmers. And about 98% of the population are farmers. It's why our educational system is that way. It's everything makes sense. Those that aren't are hunters, and most salespeople are hunters. And frankly, if you're not a hunter personality, you should do something else. You should find something else to do. And I even kind of see this around entrepreneurs. Although my caveat on that is that if you are an entrepreneur and you are starting a business and you are a hunter, you need to find a farmer to partner with.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you'll miss all the I's and the T's that were supposed to be dotted and crossed, and you'll miss all those things because you don't do well with the nuances of things. Hunters don't do, we go out, we find something, we kill it, we bring it home, everybody gets to eat. We don't deal with the nuances that a farmer would have to deal with in making sure that we're planting correctly, slowly watching the crop, making sure no mold gets on anything or any bugs underneath, or all of those other systematic things, because we don't think and process information systematically. And most entrepreneurs have to do that. So here's the thing, is that I think most people, they don't fully and completely understand that they're always selling. I interviewed 100 different professions. So I went and talked to doctors. I went and talked to Steve Wynn of Mirage Resorts back then, now Wynn Resorts, Krikorian, chiropractors, some attorneys, Oscar Goodman, who eventually became the mayor of Las Vegas, all these different professions, and interviewed them. And the main premise was, do you sell? And the answer from all of these teachers, you name it, was, oh my God, I always sell. I'm constantly selling. And the contrast of the people that were in current industry and had been for a long time, and especially the ones that had been successful. So the higher up executives and whatnot, they understood you're always selling. And I think, most people forget that. I talk to entrepreneurs all the time about defining your niche and really figuring out what your niche is, inch wide, mile deep, and being very specific on that. And so specific that, and sometimes it scares people because they think they need to be generic. The problem is that our minds are programmed to solve problems. Whether you're a farmer or a hunter, our minds we want to solve a problem, or we want to go from a yes or no or black or white. That's how our minds are designed. And when you meet someone and say, that I meet you and you say, oh, I'm a real estate agent, my mind doesn't know what to do with that information. So I move on. Where if you specifically said, I'm a real estate agent that deals with women over 65 who have recently been widowed, my mind goes, oh, well, I'm a guy, so you're not a realtor for me. But the next thing my mind does is, who do I know that could use her services? They surrender to the fact, and this goes for salespeople, this goes for entrepreneurs. If you can surrender to the fact that 50% or more of the people in your niche hate you, And hate is a strong word, but I also know that the human mind downgrades everything. So if I said, oh, they don't really like you, you're going to downgrade it even less to like, and then it's really not that bad. So if I can say they hate you and you downgrade it to they really don't like you, we made some progress. So if you can surrender to that fact and you just are going after the people that you are going to relate to, then you start not caring about what people think about you around you, and the no's become easier because a no to you is their loss and your gain. I think more salespeople fail and entrepreneurs fail because they're so vested in that outcome.
Yeah.
And if you just realize that that outcome is getting, it's a Y in the road. It's taking you one way or the other, but you're still moving forward. The yes got you money in your account and made a sale or got a chalk up on the board or got you a bonus or something like that. The no just got you one step further to the next yes.